I have sent a message to Ashish. Yes, Ashish has joined. Ashish has joined. Hello, Ashish.
Hello, sir. How are you? Great time, long time.
Really long time. So, first virtual meeting after so many. I'm looking different. Fine. Today is Sunday. I'm not having my typical large turban, but I'm
Same
just.
here, sir. Same here.
So, we have 3 minutes. Let people log in. We normally have large gathering, but people log in normally exactly at 2 p.m. Fine.
Yeah,
So I at around two in 3 minutes time I'll start your introduction and then we'll start with your session. Correct?
sure, sure.
Perfect. Relax till then.
Yeah.
Uh, Ashish, so I think we can start the conversation, and I think by the time I complete your introduction, which is likely to be a longer one, hopefully people will get enough time to join. Right?
Sure, sure. Definitely.
Okay. Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Harvinder Singh, professor in marketing and chairperson admissions at IMT Ghaziabad, and today it's a very special day for me. Special day in the sense that today I'm going to introduce one of the students that I still remember and I'm always proud of him. Ashish was our student in the batch of 13-15, just 8 years back, and his journey has been phenomenal. Of course, he had 3 years work ex engineer working in production role before MBA. But the moment he came to IMT Ghaziabad, his journey has been amazing and inspiring. Professionally, in his batch, he was among the top performers. Professionally, he got picked up by Mahindra Group, GMC, General Management Cadre. Within the organization, journey has been amazing from management trainee to manager to senior manager to AVP to a country head, Mahindra Sustain, I believe, correct? And then an international stint in Germany, and then coming back to India,
Recording in
and
progress.
another country head position. Mahindra First Choice Wheels, that's your current position. Role involves B2B and B2C. So if you see just 8 years, one organization, such big organization where people struggle to register their presence, Ashish has been able to climb the ladder quickly. Within 3 years, by 2018, he was a part of the leadership team, fine, heading a business, which is actually amazing. And that's why it was important for me to invite Ashish to interact with you. Because you see, and looking at Ashish, you know if you really follow the right path, you can be. And there's nothing that can stop you. And the world, the industry acknowledges his potential. In 2018 itself, he was awarded Infra Person of the Year, and he was the youngest person to receive that award. Now, professionally, he is amazing, but I can talk more about his performance as a student. As a professor, he was a professor's delight. His CGPA was 9.45, and at times we had to tell him to study less and sleep a bit more. Coming about talking about other activities, think about case study competitions. He is the gold standard in that. Talk about Nestle competitions by Nestle, HUL, Pepsi, Voltas, Tata Group, and I think there are half a dozen more. And all those awards are in his shelf. He has interacted with top leadership at the finals of those competitions and received appreciation. And honestly speaking, his 360-degree personality is reflected in the third aspect of his life, that is personal life. Some of you might feel that his life is all work, no fun, no play. If this is the case, then let me share. His life also has a livelier part, a colorful part, and you need to connect with him on social media to see his small video snippets and reels. So, yes, Ashish has 24 hours just like each one of us, but he has been able to make maximum and the most efficient use of it, and the world, the industry, and professors like us recognize his potential. And it's over to you, Ashish. I believe you should tell, guide, and mentor students how they can achieve at least a part of it in their lives. Over to you.
Thank you, sir. I hope I would have recorded these lines. It would have helped me in so many part of my journeys in the life where you feel that is something which you want to achieve but couldn't. But then these words of wisdom and words of appreciation helps you to move forward. Really, really, thank you so much, sir. Uh, Personally, professionally, you have, I am in debt to you probably in many things which we can share in public, which we cannot share in public, but you have always given me a rightful path ahead. Thank you so much, and wonderful, meeting all the friends. Probably going back to the history once again, and so before I start, I would just want to, probably say 2 3 lines how I, my first interview at IMT Ghaziabad, my, in the panel when I get the GD and GDPI. So Dr. Harvinder Singh was the chief panelist over there, and he took my interview. And when I met him once I joined, I said him same things that I could not recall because of so many people, but okay. Then in my first class, probably a class after class, whatever awards, etc., whatever God has given me, after each award, after each case study, after each semester result, I went to his cabin, and that's how. And with every single session, every single minute I spent with him, giving what I have achieved or what I could not achieve, he gave me a next step forward. So that is something which I will always value, sir. And I don't know whether you still recall or not, but over the years, in both the part of the journey, I'm very much, aligned with your thoughts and the way you have taught me to move forward in life. Thank you so much for that.
It's
Uh,
been pleasure, Ashish. I remember second year when you came with yet another trophy. I said, Ashish, now stop participating in case study competitions. Now start writing content because you are at that level now.
I have a snapshot of that. I put that comment in the Facebook when I got into case studies, and I have tagged you if you remember, sir. I have a snapshot today as well. So no, thank you so much for giving this opportunity. I just thought that on this Sunday afternoon, I'll not speak about traditional things. I would rather talk about what I have learned personally, experientially, probably in the IMT fraternity. And I have also put in a lot of that time pictures, that times things, so that one could relate, or I could relate probably, and can something which I miss if I could not put at that point. So let's start. Very happy with your permission, sir.
Ahead. Please go ahead.
Sure. So I'll share my screen. Just let me know if it is the screen visible.
Yes, it's visible.
Okay. So, friends, I would really request that, although everybody would have the same request when one start this session, with a lot of strange faces and names, that be as much open as you can. But in this session, I would definitely want एक तो Sunday है यार, and second is I would talk only relatable topics, right? There would be many industry veteran, and I'm sure that Professor has probably plot a very nice and very interactive and very meaningful journey for you in the academics coming. But I would want to talk about how, as a person, how as a student, you would have certain fears in mind, certain anxiety once you are entering over this particular powerful institute, and what kind of aspirations you have at current stage, and where do you want to go. So I would be talking on those lines, sharing certain experiences, and will be equally focused. You can just stop me and pause me in between and ask any question you would want, rather than putting out a blanket list of questions in the end. So we can be as informal as we can, if with the permission, sir. Right? Because I,
Sure.
I yeah, I
This
would
makes
really
sense.
want, yeah, I would really want that. I have certain sessions in my mind when I joined this journey in 2013, which still is with me, and kind of stuff. And I would look forward as this particular session to be in your mind, if at all possible, so that you can take certain key takeaways of this beautiful journey which you have in amongst the 2 years, right? So while we were interacting with कि what should be the topic or what should we speak today. So we said MBA के ऊपर बात करनी, and I'll be Hindi and English mix, because that's something which gives you an edge in the Indian industry pattern, and also gives you a certain stage in life. So probably uh, we said that we will talk about MBA, but not just academics. Uh, and when he entrusted that responsibility on me, I'll give first a caveat and then probably start the journey ahead. I have given full regards to academics, that understanding well that if I learn better over here in these 2 years, I can better use it in the next phase of life. And with full honesty, given my whatever best efforts I could, and God favored me with the kind of CGP he was mentioning, right? But academics is something which I've taken very, very, very seriously. Okay. But there was a life beyond academics, which as a manager I had in my mind. And what was that? So before joining, and most of you, would here be like, some would be experienced, some would not be experienced, some would have just given, out of this the graduation, and very bright, and probably entered into this particular institute. So the institute looks for variety of people with different, experiences, or cadres, or yearners, probably to come across. So I was of the kind that, yeah, I'm getting a good job. I mean, I have a good job. I have at that point of time, something around 8-9 lakhs in 2010, 2011. And all my colleagues in the production are from IIT. So how and why I should move to a college, which is not an IM, but yet I am moving, and how would my career shape up beyond this? सही है, गलत है, करना चाहिए, नहीं करना चाहिए. Many of you will also have that questions, right? And then I started meeting everybody and wherever I could, keep IMT Ghaziabad, and I got fair decent, amount of interaction, amount of feedback with a huge alum base IMT institute has. And one thing which I've learned over these years is that whenever you enter an institute and something bigger than life is IMT, you always have certain consideration in your back. That what are your aspirations? कहाँ जाना है 2 साल बाद? What are your personal values, right? How would you interact with people? What kind of stint you want to leave behind? And then what are the skills you want to earn? For example, my social skills were pathetic. And I remember I went to Dr. Singh and probably I told कि sir मेरा Facebook account नहीं है. I He said to me मेरा छोटा बच्चा है रमनीत sir रमनीक नाम है right his name is Ramneet. He said उस time पे वो 7 years old था I'm not wrong if he's 5 or 6 years old. He said he still has a Facebook page. What are you talking? Go and join Facebook and see the immense networking which you could have. And until before I used to मेरे को बोला जाता था कि Facebook से social media से all those things you should be it's a time waste, but he brought me to Facebook. He said me to enroll in LinkedIn. He said me to enroll in some Insta nahi tha. But these two things, and I'm very very happy that he made me into that. So that were the skills which I was lacking, and he recognized, and therefore we went into that direction. So one thing which I start with this particular session is about how do you prioritize, a priority before you come into the college. And I'm sure each one of you would have that in the mind. For example, the first thing I had in my mind was I wanted to get involved in everything. 15, 20, 25 lakh rupees I have spending over here, right? Why should I not get involved in everything? And then there was another thought. If I had to pick and choose 2-3 things, what would be that and how I would get it benefited the most out of them? Then the second thing was my strength areas were my convincing abilities, or probably talking to people, or probably presentation, etc. Because in the production you have a lot of excels, etc. So should I be more focused on that, probably increase and sharpen my strength, or put them aside and be available for new things, just which I do not even bother to would have learned before I was into MBA. And then the third thing was everybody, all of us, in the graduation or probably engineering, we take pride, right? That we are a member of 2 clubs, 3 clubs, marketing club, finance club, placements, placecom, all those things. So should I focus on to getting these 3-4 badges onto my shoulders, or should I pause and ask how much a time commitment each will ask me? And fourth question, which I had in my mind, was that should I just focus on studies and grades, and at the end of 2 years probably receive that, gold medal or something and come out as a bright student, or should I make use of, IMT's Manforce capital? That is 500, that time of 400, 500, the huge strength was there, and everybody across the country, right, used to come with different kind of experiences. You can consider the potential of learning I would have through my peers, and everybody has come from a different different place, different history, experiences. So what kind of potential I could learn from them, which I could not learn from my great studies and books and presentations? So that become my core focus, and I started prioritizing. Prepared for the CAT, got a coveted percentile. By the way, I was into SP Jain Mumbai. I left SP Jain Mumbai after joining 1 week in IMT Ghaziabad. Many few people know that. And because I got so much influenced about the IMT curriculum that I left SP Jain. And then after converting it, what kind of choice? So one would feel that, chalo yaar, CAT nikal liya, we got into coveted percentile, we got into a call from the dream college, now everything is settled. But let me be very, very frank with you, it is not settled. The series and mis-series of tons of FOMOs, abundance of, self-doubt, karna chahiye, nahi karna chahiye, heaps of nervousness, loads of peer pressure, and a plethora of sleepless nights. So this is around the corner for you. And then we say, welcome to the elite fraternity of MBAs and the IMT guys. So these are some questions which everybody would have in your mind, because all of you have come from a part of journey, and which all of you should, question and ask yourself. I'll not give a answer straight what is the right path, because everybody has its own path. But my only key takeaway from this particular part of my session is make a priority and then be focused. Each of these 2 statements in this 4 sub part is correct. Make a priority. Yeah, Vats.
Uh, uh, Good afternoon. Sir, as you were mentioning about your participation, as Sir was mentioning about your participation in case study competition, as a first year student, means I have learned that there are two ways. First, get yourself acquainted with the case study pedagogies, learn the concept, and then in the second year you go for it. Or or in the first year, dive deep away, dive directly into the abyss and learn yourself. Means what would be the approach
Very,
according to you?
very good question. I don't know why all questions are, being coincidentally, fixated to Dr. Harvinder Sir Singh, but because this was the question I was having, and there was a Mahindra War Room, which you will also get to know. So we prepared, and I got the case study, etc. By the way, that case study helped me to land up into fifth job in the Mahindra group. That's the same case study, sir. Mahindra first, if you remember, that was the case study when I was in first year, and
Correct, correct.
I went to sir and I said कि sir मैंने ऐसे prepare किया है, but मेरी एक चीज में हालत थोड़ी सी सही नहीं है, for the reason कि इतने बड़े बड़े second years के इतने अच्छे अच्छी presentations हैं, आपको लगता है मैं जीत पाऊंगा, या do you feel that I should give that time, और hardly 2 months हुए होंगे, या 3 months हुए होंगे IMT में आए हुए. So he said, why not go and take it that as a test, that match, it's a white match, do and play it, give your best shot, and whatever you have learned, it is not just that 3 months or 2 months at IMT, it also has that 25 years of your whatever experience you have in your life. Use that and run away. Who knows that you could be winner, and you guys will not imagine I won that. And there were series of second year very sharp people, very sharp people, brilliant presentations. My presentation was not so good. It was more, and I see that presentation, if today that's the first presentation, and I see it has good, it has very sharp messages, but it was not that clean. But I won it. So the moral of the story is, do not put any myth that first year hai to presentations nahi karenge, case studies mein participate nahi karenge. In fact, in the first year you should do even more, and in the second year you should rise a level up. ठीक है? So जितना आता है, और एक और चीज है यार वत्स, कभी भी आपको सब कुछ पूरा कभी नहीं आएगा कि I learned this, I remember he taught me 15-20 minutes in the same room about business analytics. Later वो सर एक वो US के सर आए थे, if I'm not remembering his name, in the second year we were Jagdeep Singh. So उनके sessions की कुछ चीजें he taught me in the first year when he was not teaching me, because he taught me in the second year marketing का course. But I because I was just interacting, because he took my interview and I recognized his face. That was the only acquaintance I had with him. So वहां से सारी कहानी start हुई थी. And when he taught me कि एक काम करो, फटाफट ना SPSS करके कोर्स है, if I'm not, मैं तो सब चीजें भूल भी गया सर. So SPSS करके कोर्स है, वो फटाफट नेट पे जाओ और ज्वाइन करो और उसको पढ़ लो जरा एक बारी ना, and see if you can use certain business analytics tools from there to substantiate your findings. और मैंने exactly वही किया. The way he was instructing me, मैं करता जा रहा था, and I learned from doing it. Within that 24 days of whatever case study का time था, मैंने बहुत चीजें सीखी, and I was so happy that I was ahead the many more people in the first year and to a level in the second year, क्योंकि मैंने चीजें करके सीखी, classroom से नहीं सीखी. So that is something, and I would, as a friend, what I've learned from, professor, I would pass on the same message with his permission. Do participate, right? No stopping. Okay, does that answer?
Yes, sir, definitely. Thank you.
Very good. Okay, so then एक चीज हमेशा we should always put certain perspective. Your first impression might have an everlasting or a long-lasting effect. It could not be permanent, but it could have a long-lasting effect. Please be sure that the moment you have your day one at the campus, right, you engage with your cohort, right? You will be in a class where you have hundreds of learners, right? And everybody would have opinion. Start listening them. And believe me when I say that MBA cohort could be very competitive. At the same time, it could be very cooperative. I nearly participated in 14 competitions, case study competitions, pan India. won 12 of them, right? And more or less, I had paid my 80 to 90% of my MBA fees via that winning amounts. Plus, I had an iPad. I have many things from those competitions, right? And the biggest strength which I could is the love and the respect I used to get from the peers. And still date, I used to get that. So I think when you come in the first, day one, some of you would be from very esteemed engineering colleges. Some of you would have been the esteemed good work experience. Some of you would be freshers. Start giving respect to each of your cohort people, and at the same time, start learning from them. No amount of books or no amount of, presentation skills, PPTs or lectures can equate the learnings you will have from your peer. So your day one at the campus to the week one at the campus has to be on that networking. And networking not with your batchmates, but also with when you go to second year, to your juniors, to your professors, to your alums, students across the B school community, wherever it is possible, right? And also realize one thing, the brilliant thing which we all miss, is that the most active hours in the campus is 12 a.m. to 2 a.m. in the night, right? When you have all the projects, and when the moment you enter into the B school, probably you have assignments, right? That assignments need to be done by the end of the day, which is 23.59.59, right? And immediately when you push and submit those assignments and the group assignments and whatever it is, right? Projects, presentations, you come out, you become free, life is good, right? And that 2 hours before the sleep is the time when you roam around the campus, you talk to people, you learn from them, you talk about the interactions, make use of that. That is the memory which you should capture. And that is the hidden job market in the campus where you start learning about it, right? So that is from day one to week one. Ye pehla hafta, this first week is very, very crucial, because that sets you as a personality in front of, peers. Second thing, after you have entered, always look out for places where you can keep your health. I'm starting, my presentation with certain 2-3 these caveats, because this will set your premise when you enter, right? You have come over here in the next 2 years would be जितना ज़्यादा जो बना के ले जाएगा उसने उतना earn करना है life में, right? So you have to make the most of every opportunity. Now, when you can make the most of it is when you will stay fit. I am not opposing any kind of your personal, leisures which you can make in the campus, outside the campus, per the policy of the campus. But, right, always find an activity that gives you energy and make time to do it regularly. I'll give a small example. I had some kind of guilt in my mind that I have left a 10 lakh, 9 lakhs job, and each day I would have earned, there some 10,000 or stuff per day, or 5,000 if I would have given into a job. How I am still making that capital cost of mine? Mera opportunity cost kaise nikal raha hu main? So agar mera 60-70,000 per month banta hai, right? If I would have continued my job, which is roughly 2,000 to 3,000, probably 2,500 a day. So how I'm able to still, while studying, make up to 2,500 or 2,000 a day, right? So I used to then think on those lines कि अगर मैंने इतनी education ले लिया, उसको use कर लिया, तो मैंने अपने वो 2,000 is spent well कर दिए, because that 2,000 plus the fees का amount, that was something which always, went into my mind कि कैसे मैं उसको best use करने वाला हूँ. And that's the business intellect. See, always remember, today I'm doing valuations of the company, and everybody appraisals hota hai. And one thing which I've always learned from myself over the years is I always put, and know my potential. Similarly, each one of you should know your potential, and then rightfully ask the HRs or probably whosoever is your guidance, ki yaar, this is my right cost, this is my right, value. And if I will not get this at point of time, I will never be able to do a valuation of the company rightfully. So you have to think yourself कि यार आपकी value क्या है? Is your value is probably रात के 11-12 बजे के बाद पार्टी करने की value and wasting that time, or probably वो 2 घंटे network करने की है to interact with some sharp minds in the campus, or probably कोई अच्छी documentary देखने की है, और मतलब you have life left with you यार, ये 2 साल बहुत enjoy करना है, I agree, but time waste नहीं करना है. So fit रहोगे, healthy रहोगे, तो ये सब चीजें जो मैं बताने वाला हूँ अगले कुछ 15-20 minutes में you will be able to get, and that is why I want to spend this 3-4 minutes in this slide, that is stay fit. And activities which crumbles down your energy, activities which, makes you down, please do not go and fall into that trap. Arvinder sir, with your permission, I am just hinting certain things which I would request everyone to be very, very careful if they want to have a very good career, because this helped me a lot.
Oh, sure, please speak your heart out. This is what they should hear. Fine.
Right. So, सब करना, मैं आज की डेट में महंगी सी महंगी, I drink, alcohols, everything. But वो 2 साल मैंने, I have given my full efforts और आज करते हैं. Right. So that is something which you, and second thing is, जो activity आपको energy देती है, वो तो खुल्लम खुल्ला करना यार. So for example, मेरे को dancing बड़ा पसंद था. Right. तो पार्टी होती थी रात के 12 बजे 1 बजे, I used to go there, dance my full out, पूरा भांगड़ा शांगड़ा मार के आते थे वहां से, and then probably come again, और फिर कोई एक चीज पकड़ते थे, उस पे लगते थे. Second thing is, I was very, very healthy, approximately 85-90 kgs. So, and second, the third thing which came to us was कि यार, you need to read the newspapers, Economic Times. That used to be my full focus, because वो मेरा सबसे weak area था. काम हर समय था लाइफ में. सो वो पढ़ने के लिए, मेरे को एक जगह अपना वेट कम करना था, एक जगह मेरे को इकोनॉमिक टाइम्स पढ़ना था. तो ये मैंने फोटो जो लगाई है, दैट इज कॉपीड फ्रॉम द नेट, बट एक्चुअली इट यूज्ड टू बी माय CDL campus. I do not know whether still that CDL campus is there or not. We had a gym over there, which later in the second year I joined somewhere outside. वहां पे cycling में I used to keep my newspaper 4 a.m. in the morning, and 2 hours just to read the entire Economic Times, to the level that I used to be the person who doesn't read newspapers. Or after a month or so in the IMT, I used to be known as the Chalta Filta Economic Times. You ask me any figure, I used to just tell. And my answers in the class and in the presentation used to be with lot of factual information. So, ये चीज you have to see कि क्या चीज आपको किक देती है, क्या चीज आपको अच्छी लगती है, right? So that was something, and this is all I could do because I was very fit. कोई भी amount of time waste नहीं किया. And yet, though I enjoy it. Now, this is very, very, I should say, a very, very, very lovable memory, right? And something which I would want, and I'm stressing this takeaway from this session is, please, please, please never ever benchmark against your peers, right? Your peers are the best learning resources. ये हमेशा ध्यान रखना, for the reason कि देखो, biggest strength of any MBA program is that it draws the best and brightest from all the walks of life, and therefore it is futile to measure your growth or achievements based on someone else, right? So top business schools like IMT Ghaziabad intentionally, and sir can add to it, recruit students with an array of background and experiences. So case studies, life projects teach you much more than attending classes. If you have ever heard about peer learning, hear it where it comes to. So with more than, I don't know, hundreds of people in an MBA cohort, there are people with experience in almost every part of life. And those experiences provide you wealth of knowledge. And the learnings curve and the baseline is completely unique. So probably I would have a lower learning curve, or my baseline was much, much, much more lower than your probably or somebody else. So when you keep this in mind, that will allow you to appreciate what you have learned and how much you have grown, and make sure that you are prepared for a future career. So if you start building this as an exercise, I had in my all 14-15 competitions, never ever I had one single team. Apart from this Grandi, who is to the right extreme, he was in 4 or 5 cases. But every other time, I had a different team altogether. There was 2 reasons for it. A, never ever I could be dependent on my team, so that when I am in a CEO position in later phase of life, I'm not dependent on, or become restricted to some sort of dependencies. A, and B, I should ever learn from people across the community. So every time a new team, every time a new member used to give me certain learnings, which you have to, also implement. Yeah, Vats?
Extremely sorry for the interruption. As other people are not asking questions, so I thought I should utilize this opportunity to derive maximum from you in terms of wisdom. So my question was from a previous slide. You talked about exercises which will boost your energy. And also you talked about you read Economic Times. Can you clarify which on which sections in a business newspaper would you did you focused upon, and how it helped in terms of doing a case study in class as well as outside? Means, how did it help? And secondly, in terms of activities, I'm a yoga fanatic. So do you actually get time? So you said that you woke up in 4 a.m. in the morning, but also slept at 2 a.m. in the morning. So Miss, what is the typical schedule in terms of sleeping and waking, and how do we find time for all this self-development? Yeah.
Yeah. So okay. So both of them are rightful questions. I would rather say it depends upon you, the kind of activity you choose to be fit. For some, walking is a criteria. For some, playing is a criteria. For some, sports is a criteria, right? Everybody has a different way out. My only submission on that particular point was that you have to stay fit, because until unless you are energetic, you will not be able to, see or the forthcoming challenges in front of you. शरीर में ताकत ही नहीं होगी यार, और ले डाउन रहोगे हमेशा, हैंगओवर में रहेंगे अगर हमेशा, तो फिर हम कैसे उसको, हम जो अपॉर्चुनिटी लाइफ में आ रही है तो वो छूट जाएगी, और या तो फिर हम उसको उतने ही एफर्ट से या जील से कैप्चर नहीं कर पाएंगे. सो इररिस्पेक्टिव, मेरा क्या था, मेरा एक डिफरेंट मोटिव था यार. पीपल सी यू व्हेन यू कम आउट ऑफ द कॉलेज स्मार्ट फिट, मैं नहीं था वैसा. सो माय व्यू का कि यार मेरे को वहां भी अच्छा करना है, सो लेट मी डू सब फोकस समथिंग ऑन माय हेल्थ पोर्शन. And second is, when you speak, you have to have a content. So when you have a content, you have to have certain factual information, irrespective of which section you read. Evolving, whatever you want to do, editorials, अब editorials पढ़ो. आपको politics अच्छी लग रही है, अब उसमें politics पढ़ो. मेरा favorite subject is politics, तो मैं politics पढ़ता हूँ. I get energy by reading, many leaders across the globe कि how do they challenges, वो कैसे सरकास करते हैं challenges को, किस तरीके से आगे बढ़ते हैं. I get a zeal, मेरे को थोड़ा सा उसमें strength आता है, तो मैं वो पढ़ता हूँ. But you start reading, making reading as a habit develops you as a person, right? Till date, I read, at last at the night, I read 1 or 2 pages, but I definitely read. So reading is something which helps you, kuch bhi padho. And doing certain sort of exercise, yoga or walking, etc., helps you, kuch bhi karo. It could be a play or something. That was a message which helps you to be very, very strong and capture the opportunity. आती है ना, तो यार एक हाथ से opportunity लेना is a 90s के जमाने की कहावत. जैसी opportunity आ रही है, बिल्कुल कैपिटलाइज करना और दोनों हाथों से उसको घसीट लेना अपनी तरफ. That is something which is this age, the thing which you have to learn. And second point which I was trying to say you is कि in the competitions also, आज companies में भी I have started many such activities where I am collaborating with my own competitors. And gone are those ages जहाँ पे हम compete करते थे अपने competitors in the business fraternity as well. So similarly, at your peers, which at times can be your competition, at times can be your favoring points, do that. So these are the only two learnings. उसको अपनी तरीके से use करो, the way you want. But मोटा intent ये था यार. What's if I would have answered you?
Great, sir. Great. Thank you.
Energy down नहीं करना बस life में कभी किसी भी activity से. वो सारी activity करी जैसे energy आपकी up रहे, right? Okay. So then the second point was कि this is something which is very close to my heart is case studies आती है, and every sector gives you a case study, right? Or in a competition gives you a case study, or business में classes में होती हैं case studies. So how to bring the solution out, and how would you bring a solution out? अगर आपके घर में problem है, company में problem है, how would you get to know when you actually step out of the campus and you go and interact with people at multitude, right? Start having informational interviews. And when you go for informational interviews, you learn as much as you can about the target industry, the company, the role. And then when you talk about that in your solution or in wherever you go, right, you impress your contacts with your genuine interest and credentials without treating like it's a formal interview kind of stuff. And that's where you start, leveraging your traditional network, classmates, etc., friends, and then post yourself how to step out of that comfort zone. So my point is that talk to professionals that come to you, in the school, probably B school mein, yeah, it comes to you at the classes, or when you get certain case studies, you go out in the market, you talk to people, the distributors, the owners, or probably the customers to have that customer experience. Okay? So that sort of things gives you an edge over the others. Yeah, Harsh.
Uh, yes, good afternoon, sir. Actually, as my friend mentioned, my friend Vats mentioned, there was a question which he asked you about managing your day and how a day in your life used to look like while your life at IMT Ghaziabad. So I think you forgot to touch upon that point.
ओके सो यार मैं अगेन बोलूंगा ये हर बहुत ही पर्सनल क्वेश्चन है एंड इट ऑल डिपेंड्स अपॉन योर पर्सनल एस्पिरेशंस where you want to go forward, right? So I don't know, many of you would have made in your school days, in your childhood, कि यार 7 से 8 ये करूंगा, 8 से मैं वो करूंगा, 10 से 10:30 नाश्ता करूंगा, फिर मैं यहाँ जाऊंगा, I don't know, you can tell me. Many people would have sort of played this kind of timetable बचपन में, right? I was having this habit constantly in my life कि ऐसे ऐसे करूंगा, फिर ऐसे करूंगा, फिर ऐसे करूंगा, फिर ऐसे करूंगा. उसमें से कुछ होता नहीं था लाइफ में, बट एक सेंस ऑफ वो लगता था यार कि नहीं, आई थिंक वी आर गोइंग स्टेप बाय स्टेप इन द टिल डेट. आई राइट सम टाइम आई स्क्रू अप इन द प्रोफेशनल लाइफ, एंड जब समझ में नहीं आता लाइफ में कैसे आगे जाए, बिकॉज लाइफ इज नॉट इजी. तो माय मॉम यूज्ड टू से मी स्टिल कि यार तू बचपन में हमेशा लिखता था कि आज मैं ये करूंगा, फिर मैं ये करूंगा, फिर मैं एक बार लिखो, कीप ऑन राइटिंग इट. सो आई वुड से टू आंसर यू, आप अपना शेड्यूल खुद बनाओ, मेक इट योरसेल्फ, बट व्हाटएवर यू मेक यू फॉलो इट, राइट? फॉर एग्जाम्पल मॉर्निंग में मेरे को ये 2 काम करने हैं, और फॉर एग्जाम्पल न्यूज़पेपर पढ़ना है, उसके बाद मुझे यू नो व्हाटएवर आई हैड नीड टू डू अ केस स्टडीज रीड करनी है. आई यूज्ड टू रीड लॉट ऑफ केस स्टडीज जो क्लास में आती है इन द मॉर्निंग, बिकॉज वो मेरे को काफी अच्छा होता था उनको पढ़ना, और हमेशा पढ़ के जाता था मैं सारी केस स्टडीज. सो दैट इज समथिंग. सो व्हाटएवर एज यू गो. अब मुझे पता नहीं है यार कि इस टाइम 8 years के noise, someone can please mute. Okay, so I don't know how the life has changed at IMT, or probably how the curriculum has changed, but whatever it comes to, you just point out कि यार ये 4 चीजें हैं जो मेरे लिए जरूरी है. न्यूज़पेपर मेरे लिए जरूरी है, फिट रहना मेरे लिए जरूरी है, क्लास में अगर मुझे पार्टिसिपेट करना है तो मुझे केस स्टडीज पढ़ना बहुत जरूरी है, प्री रीड्स करना बहुत जरूरी है, देन इंटरेक्शन बहुत जरूरी है, क्योंकि हर बार ग्रुप असाइनमेंट्स होते हैं. अगर मैं लोगों से बात नहीं करूंगा तो लोगों मैं पे के साथ काम कैसे करूंगा, लीड कैसे करूंगा ग्रुप को. तो यू राइट कि once you are in the campus for a week, you write 4-5 critical success factors. ये 5 चीजें मैं करता हूँ तो मैं थोड़ा सेटल हो सकता हूँ यहाँ पे. Then you establish your day. हर किसी का स्लीपिंग पैटर्न अलग होता है हर्ष, हर किसी का खेलने का पैटर्न अलग होता है. So do whatever suits you. और अगर आप मेरा ही पर्टिकुलर जानना चाहते हो तो if you want that, I can tell you that as well. हाँ जी, नंदिका.
Hello, good afternoon. Actually, I just saw that you have done a couple of courses. So I'm sure with the help of these courses, you would have bagged so much information about very different things like digital marketing and all those things. But I just want to know how impactful these are for, how do recruiters see it, and how is it actually worth to put these certificates on your resume and other things. I'm sure they provide so much learning, and they're a good source of learning, but how do other people like recruiters and other people see it?
Very good question. So see, it is always acknowledged rightfully well, right? And getting into these certificates, etc., via LinkedIn or any other digital or online medium, much before the COVID as well as post-COVID as well. Why I have done that? Because I am in the habit of getting, यहाँ से ये सीख लूँ, यहाँ से ये पढ़ लूँ, ये पढ़ लूँ. If you are also in that habit, it will help you. But getting these certificates only will not help you to get good, how should I say, achievement in life. It is about how are you using. So मेरा कैसा रहता है, if I can share it with you, is मैं जब भी एक कोर्स करता हूँ, आज भी जब भी मैं एक कोर्स पढ़ता हूँ, मैं उसको पहले इम्प्लीमेंट करता हूँ किसी भी जगह पे. फॉर एग्जाम्पल मैंने जितने भी डिजिटल कोर्सेज किए थे, ऑनलाइन मार्केटिंग एटसेट्रा, या मैंने जितने भी ये डिजिटल वाले कोर्सेज किए थे, आई वॉज इंटायरली इन द B2B सेगमेंट सर्विसेज के लिए. और मेरे लिए बड़ा ये डिफिकल्ट हो रहा था कि how should I move from B2B to B2C? And as my age was growing, as my experience was growing, industry will never have taken me to an B2C role. So the first thing which I did was I read all those which would require for a B2C guy. Right?
Yeah, that's very helpful. I'm
right?
sure that we'll only learn more with implementing all those things. Like if we make a blog and anything. So if we take the case of Google Analytics, so just learning the theory won't help. You'll have to actually implement the things.
So in Mahindra's, I said, give me 20% of time and give me any project in B2C. And I had learned those courses. Then I started implementing those courses on that 20% of time. And fortunately, that 20% gave me better result on my 80% work. So immediately, whosoever was my reporting manager, he said, "Yaar, isko Germany bhej do. He is good into product management and B2C." And this is how I landed up to Germany. There was no other thought. ऐसा कुछ था नहीं. I love my country and my parents more than anything. मेरे को बस खाली 2 साल के लिए भेजा जा रहा था, वही पता रो के गया. But then I went कि चलो यार ये चीज सीखी है, मैं implement करके आते हैं. वहां पे रिटेल ट्रांसफॉर्मेशन किया, तो पोस्ट कोविड एवरीथिंग सेटल्ड कि फिर पेरेंट्स ने बुलाना स्टार्ट कर दिया. सो आई लेफ्ट एवरीथिंग. और मेरा B2C के लिए जो भी मेरा एम्बिशन था इन द कंज्यूमर वर्ल्ड, महिंद्रा ग्रुप अगेन कॉल्ड मी कि यहाँ पे आके यू बिकम फ्रेंचाइजीज एंड B2Cs में आ जाओ फॉर यूज्ड कार्स. सो दैट इज हाउ लाइफ गिव्स यू अ पाथ. बट अगर कहीं चीज जो आपको नहीं आती है, दैट्स अ न्यू थिंग फॉर यू. इफ आई हैव टू आंसर यू स्ट्रेट फॉरवर्ड, हाउ वुड यू ट्रेजेक्ट दैट एंड मूव टू अ डिफरेंट जोन? कुछ तो पढ़ना पड़ेगा, कुछ तो समझ में आना, कुछ तो करेक्ट. और एकदम से अगर आप ऐसे चल रहे हो B2B सेगमेंट में, मैं अपना एग्जांपल लेता हूँ, और आपको B2C में जाना है, तो एकदम से आपको B2C में नहीं दे दिया जाएगा यार. कंपनी का रिस्क होता है, राइट?
और एग्जैक्टली.
सो जैसे हम गाड़ी टर्न करते हैं ना लाइफ में, थोड़ा व्हीलों घुमाते हैं, ऐसे ही आप धीरे धीरे अपना रास्ता बनाते जाओ, राइट? तो मैंने धीरे धीरे 10%, 20% स्पेशल प्रोजेक्ट्स ऐसे लेके अपनी B2C की जो मेरी एस्पिरेशंस थी वो दिखानी स्टार्ट करी, फिर प्रूव करना स्टार्ट किया, और धीरे धीरे साइकिल को टर्न कर लिया.
Right. And I think with this, eventually we are all moving towards all the tech and AI. So I think it becomes even more relevant to do such courses which
very right question. अब हर किसी very right question. एक और स्टोरी शेयर करता हूँ. मेरा फर्स्ट सेक्शन था, मतलब रिलायंस में, इट वाज मोर ऑफ अ प्रोडक्शन में. उसके बाद में आई गॉट इनटू सस्टेन व्हिच वाज मोर ऑफ अ सिविल. तो बहुत मैन पावर इंटेंसिव, बहुत ही नीश सेक्टर्स होते जा रहे थे. एंड आई वाज लाइक यार मेरा एग्जिट ऑप्शंस क्या हैं, मैं लाइफ में कैसे आगे बढ़ूंगा. सो आई सेड कि अब ये कर एंड सॉर्ट ऑफ मशीन लर्निंग और डीप लर्निंग एल्गोरिथम्स, ये सब मेरे को आने बहुत जरूरी है. फटाफट उनको पढ़ना स्टार्ट किया, और इमीडिएटली व्हेन आई वाज इन जर्मनी यूजिंग प्रोडक्ट डेवलपमेंट फॉर सस्टेन trackers में, I started in touch the art of networking with Tech Mahindra guys, because the only Mahindra company over there was Tech Mahindra. And somehow I met the CEOs and MD, CPO Gnani, etc. And उनके सामने अपने थोड़े ideas दिए, तो यार come, you can do very good job in retail transformation in our projects. That's how I landed over there. So मैं अभी आऊंगा स्लाइड पे आगे कि हाउ डू यू प्लान योरसेल्फ. तो ये सब क्या है यार? अगर इसका इंटेंट सोचो छोटा सा, तो क्या था? वो एक पीस ऑफ पेपर, 7 से 8 ये करूंगा, 8 से 9 ये करूंगा, 10 से 11 ये करूंगा. सो इट इज द थॉट ना. वो थॉट रखो आपके पास जो भी है, और फिर अपने आप लाइफ बहुत अच्छे टर्न्स दे देती है.
Thank you. That's it.
Right.
Ashish, there are a couple of questions in the chat box talking about your sources of case studies. From where do you get these case studies?
Okay, so there were at that point of time there was one, मेरे को याद नहीं आ रहा है, you can ping me on the LinkedIn probably, or I'll share that. अभी उस टाइम पे Dare to Compete was a channel, then Inside IM was the channel. These were things जहां से आपको पता चलता है ये केस स्टडी आने वाला है. एंड थर्ड वाज अपने कैंपस में ही हर एक हफ्ते में देयर यूज्ड टू कंपनीज यूज्ड टू कम एंड प्रोबेबली टेल कि यार ये केस स्टडी है, एटसेट्रा. इज दैट वाज योर क्वेश्चन? आई विल गो वन बाय वन. फ्रॉम वेयर डिड यू रीड केस स्टडीज? सो केस स्टडीज रीड करने के लिए ओके, आई विल शेयर दैट आल्सो. हरविंदर सर, आई केम मेनी टाइम टू पुरी सर, ऋषि सर, राइट, कि आपके पास केस स्टडीज होती हैं जो ओल्ड, वो दे दो, मुझे पढ़ने का मन करता है. एंड दे यूज्ड टू गिव मी प्रिंट आउट्स, तो फिर बोलते थे मुझे वापस कर जाना. लेकिन सो आई यूज्ड टू टेक दैट, उसको पढ़ता था बस. एंड उससे समझ आता मुझे कंपनीज कैसे सोचती हैं, हाउ द लीडर्स यूज्ड टू से थिंक, और क्या बिजनेस प्रॉब्लम आती है. तो ऐसे कोई सोर्स नहीं थे मेरे पास, राइट. और मेरे पास इन प्रोफेसर्स के अलावा कोई साधन भी नहीं था. तो आई यूज्ड टू जस्ट आस्क देम. बट आज यू हैव मेनी. HBR की साइट पे जाओ, आपको बेसिक बहुत सारी मिल जाएंगी. एंड एक बार जाके इंटरेक्शन, आई वुड रिक्वेस्ट सर आप इनका सेशन लेके यू गिव देम ऑल द सोर्सेज. आज तो इतनी फ्रीली अवेलेबल है. और पहले तो अभी आपका इनके जो खुद के हमारे IMT के जो सोर्सेज होते हैं पहले वही पढ़ लेना बहुत है, तो बहुत ज्यादा एक्सटेंसिव हो गया है.
See, I think we have access to subscription to Emerald, Harvard, and all that. So when they join the campus during foundation module, they will have an interaction with the librarian Akhtar Hussain. You also know him, fine. So, and we have much richer repository of online resources. Now, students can log in from their room, from their home, and then read all those case studies for which you had to come to us earlier. अब इनकी लाइफ ज्यादा easier है.
Correct. Nee, Akhtar sir has helped me a lot. I must say till after even I left the campus. इधर professions में भी मेरे को काफी these case studies बड़ी expensive होती हैं sir. So he used to help me with those things even after I left campus. अच्छा, there is another question. I have no idea about case studies. Can you let me know a structure through which you approach these competitions? कोई structure नहीं है. ये तो आंसर मैं तब करूं जब मैं सीख के आया हूं. एंड बिलीव मी हर चीज हर लेवल पे अपने आप डिफरेंट थी. एंड नेवर एवर आई हैव मेड एनी स्ट्रैटेजी आउट ऑफ एनी बुक और उसको मैंने इम्प्लीमेंट किया हो. इट वाज ऑलवेज कि इफ आई एम इन दैट प्लेस हाउ वुड आई हैव सॉल्व दिस क्वेश्चन. इफ द क्वेश्चन इज ऑन द मार्केट एंट्री, राइट, तो उसमें कौन से ऑलरेडी एग्जिस्टिंग कस्टमर्स हैं, उसमें चैनल कॉन्फ्लिक्ट कितना हो सकता है, या वहाँ की नीड क्या है बंदों की, वो कितना जेन्युइन सेंस बनता है उसका, मेरी पर यूनिट कॉस्ट क्या है, देयर आर लीगल फैक्टर्स कैसे हैं यहाँ के, देयर आर 100 of things which comes to your mind, right, when you see a business problem, and then you see उसको फिर you make your own way. ऐसा कभी भी मैंने कहीं भी कुछ ऐसा नहीं किया लाइफ में कि आई हैव रेड समथिंग एंड देन आई हैव टेक दैट एज अ स्ट्रेटजी वाला पार्ट, या और मुझे आज भी पूछो मुझे आज भी नहीं पता. ये सबसे ज्यादा कम मार्क्स मेरे इसी में आते थे कि स्ट्रेटजी वाले उस पे कि सच्ची मुझे आज भी नहीं पता. मैं एग्जांपल भी नहीं दे पा रहा बिकॉज मुझे पता ही नहीं है कि कौन से केस स्ट्रेटजीज उसको बोलते हैं. सो इट इज ऑल अबाउट कि हाउ यू सॉल्व अ प्रॉब्लम विद द राइट सेंस ऑफ स्टेक होल्डर मैपिंग, कि हर एक स्टेक होल्डर इंसेंटिवाइज हो आपको हेल्प करने के लिए. यही एक लाइन है, राइट, किसी भी बिजनेस प्रॉब्लम के लिए. अगर मुझे मार्केट सेगमेंट एंट्री करनी है, एक या GTM बनाना है, मेरे को गो टू मार्केट बनाना है, या मेरे को एक नया प्रोडक्ट लेके आना है, तो मैं एग्जिस्टिंग प्रोडक्ट को कैनिबलाइज ना करूं, मैं प्रोडक्शन में किसकी हेल्प लेने वाला हूं. सो व्हाट ऑल पीपल वुड आई नीड टू इम्प्लीमेंट दैट सोल्यूशन, उन सबको इंसेंटिव मिले इफ आई डू समथिंग, राइट. दैट इज द ओनली इंटेंट यू शुड कीप इन योर माइंड, एंड देन यू शुड मेक अ प्लान. Okay, how did you unschedule your day and how did you study to get good 9.45 CGPA? Okay, ये how did it help you in placements and everything? CGPA ने placement में help नहीं करी थी, but पढ़ाई ने, I mean the study, the case studies, मेरा participation in class ने मेरे को placements में help जरूर करी है. और उसके बाद as a product मेरे को CGPA आ गया. मैं seriously I am not 95, 97, 99 in my throughout my career. My father is a businessman and मैं फ्रंट रो में तो कभी नहीं बैठता था, मिड टर्म या पीछे ही बैठता था मैक्सिमम क्लासेस में भी, और कोई ऐसा मेरा शार्प इंटेलेक्ट नहीं है और ना ही बहुत ही वो है. बट ये 9.4 कैसे आ गया, दिस वाज मोर ऑफ अ बाय प्रोडक्ट आई वुड से. इंटरेस्ट मेरा केस स्टडीज में था और वैसी चीजें, तो क्वेश्चंस भी वैसे ही होते हैं, एग्जाम्स में भी वैसे ही क्वेश्चंस आते हैं, कोई ऐसा तो है नहीं. MBA में ओपन बुक एग्जाम्स होते हैं, आई डोंट नो सर अभी होते हैं कि नहीं होते हैं. सो बिल्कुल नॉर्मल एकदम बिजनेस प्रॉब्लम एग्जाम्स में आती थी, उसको सॉल्व करना होता था. तो वो तो या एक बिजनेस स्टैटिस्टिक्स मेरा बहुत, आई यूज्ड टू लव दैट सब्जेक्ट अ लॉट बिकॉज वो उसमें नंबर्स चमकते हैं, मेरे को नंबर्स दिखते हैं. तो वो एक खाली एक सब्जेक्ट था जिसमें पढ़ाई करनी पड़ती थी. बाकी सब तो इज मोर ऑफ यू रीडिंग एंड देन गेटिंग इट प्राइमरी नॉलेज या प्रोजेक्ट्स या presentation. It is more about you putting your personal effort onto it. तो so वो तो आ गया यार. मैंने कोई ऐसा एफर्ट नहीं दिया था 9.45 CGPA, ना ही मेरा कोई लक्ष्य था. मेरा था डिसेंट CGPA रहे बस, 9.45 तो लक्ष्य नहीं था कभी भी. How did you make up your mind for entering B2B B2C during your time at IMT? Okay, very honest, जॉब लगनी इंपॉर्टेंट थी मेरे लिए उस टाइम पे, बिकॉज मेरा पैकेज पहले अच्छा था और बहुत हिम्मत से मैं IMT गाजियाबाद में आया था कि मैं इससे अच्छा करूंगा. फॉर्चुनेटली महिंद्रा में इंटर्नशिप हुआ, हो गया, अच्छा किया, तो प्लेसमेंट आ गया, फिर केस स्टडीज पार्टिसिपेट करता गया, उसमें 4-5 PPO PPIs आ गए. सो इट ऑल हैपेंड, लेकिन ऐसा कुछ भी माइंड में था नहीं. द ओनली थिंग व्हिच आई वांट टू से इज IMT गिव्स यू अपॉर्चुनिटी देता है, आप कैसे उसको कैपिटलाइज करते हो ये आप पे डिपेंड करता है. आफ्टर एक्सप्लोरिंग फाइनेंस ऑपरेशन, और ये सारे B2B B2C मेरे को बाद में समझ आए रहे यहाँ पे आने, मतलब कंपनी में जाने के बाद। पहले क्या ही पता होता है, अभी आप लोगों को पता होगा, पूछा मुझे नहीं पता था इतना ज्यादा। तो जैसे जैसे सीखते गए वैसे वैसे आई यूज्ड टू गो, बढ़ता गया आगे। आफ्टर एक्सप्लोरिंग फाइनेंस ऑपरेशंस एटसेट्रा ऑन कैंपस, हाउ डिड इट ऑकर टू यू दैट यू वांटेड टू एंटर द मार्केटिंग डोमेन? ओके, तो मैं ऑपरेशन इंजीनियर था, राइट? मैं मार्केटिंग करना चाहता था बिकॉज दैट इज समथिंग विच एक्साइट्स मी, राइट? या सेल्स इज समथिंग एक्साइट्स मी बिकॉज मुझे लगता था कि मेरा स्ट्रेंथ है सेल्स, मैं परसुए कर देता हूँ, मैं कन्विंस कर लेता हूँ कस्टमर्स को या लोगों को, तो मैं करूंगा। एंड आई हैड दैट बिग नंबर वाला एंट्री फ्रॉम रिलायंस, तो मुझे B2B चमकता है, तो मैं दैट्स व्हाई आई गॉट फाइनेंस। मैंने क्यों एक्सप्लोर करना चाहता, बिकॉज दैट वाज माय वीकेस्ट एरिया, उसमें पढ़ाई करनी पड़ती है। और एंड देयरफॉर आई सेड कि यार आगे जाऊंगा इफ यू हैव टू बी सीओस। तो मेरे मैक्सिमम सब्जेक्ट्स जो हम लोग लेते हैं, आई डोंट नो सर अभी कैसा है, बट देयर आर सम सब्जेक्ट्स व्हिच यू कैन टेक आउटसाइड योर कोर फील्ड। तो ऑल माय सब्जेक्ट्स वर ऑफ फाइनेंस, राइट? सो बिकॉज फाइनेंस प्लस मार्केटिंग का जो वो होता है, दैट इज वेरी नाइस, बिकॉज देन यू आर एबल टू सी मैं इस पे पैसा खर्च करूँ, मेरा ROI कितना आएगा, मैं डिजिटल मार्केटिंग में स्पेंड कर रहा हूँ, मेरा ROI कितना आएगा, right? So everything then it works as per number, and business में everything depends on the number. Cost कितना लगा रहे हो, return कितना ला रहे हो. So therefore I said which committee club were you part of and how did you decide which one to choose? Okay. So मैंने आपको ऊपर लिखा था ना, मेरा एक केस होता था, मैंने अपने इंजीनियरिंग में 3-4 clubs I had entered, तो मुझे था यार मैं 3-4 clubs करूंगा. So I had one marketing club यहाँ पे, जिससे from which I withdrew in the very first year because I was not able to give that time commitment to the club activities. Then the second thing which I joined was HR club because I wanted to understand how HR people, about personal selfish reasons, how do they think, and I would have HR connects, etc. So second मैंने HR club join किया था. These were the only two clubs, which I had joined. First was marketing club, and the second was HR Uday HR club. Students can still take free electives. Okay, very nice. तो मेरे electives सारे, मैंने electives वही लिए थे. एक और चीज बता देता हूँ, मैंने electives सारे वो लिए थे जिससे मेरे उस पे ऐड हो, how should I say, skill set पे ऐड हो, right? Not those electives की यार ये तो already इतने burden वाले हैं, तो ये वाले भी ले लेते हैं जिससे कि हमको how should I say, थोड़ा सा कम stress रहेगा life में. Instead I had this risk कि मेरा CGPA 9.3 9.4 चल रहा है अभी, अगर मैं फाइनेंस के सेकंड ईयर में लेता हूँ सब्जेक्ट्स, इट माइट फेल डाउन बिकॉज आई एम वेरी बैड इन फाइनेंस, राइट? तो शुड आई टेक और नॉट? तो मैं को बोला यार क्या, जब तक 7 के ऊपर है, 8 के ऊपर, तब तक ऑल सही है, लेते हैं, लेट्स, देखा जाएगा क्या होता है. एंड फिर पढ़ाई करी तो उसमें भी अच्छे नंबर आ गए, ऐसी बात नहीं थी. एक चीज विच आई वांट टू, आई मूव फॉरवर्ड नाउ. ओके, सागर, हाँ जी.
Yes, sir. So first of all, good afternoon. Sir, I wanted to ask that can you please tell some sources from where we can do certification courses? As there are some random sources which are free, but will they have values in our CV, or we need to do some paid courses?
Good question. Good question. So domain select करो पहले ना. उस समय ये अपग्रेड, कोर्सरा वगैरह कुछ भी नहीं था, right? तो I was only dependent on the hard things. But now you have multiple of things, upgrade, Coursera, and I don't know, many stuff are available. आप पहले domain select करो कि आपको किस domain, and Google themselves, right? Or Facebook themselves, or Harvard themselves. Now you have immense, sources. आज की date पे तो you put it this line in the Google which you asked me, right? Online courses, channels, and you would have hundreds of them in front of you, free and unfree. So my thing is कि first you select a domain. Then you go to the prof of that domain, and then you talk to them. Second is whenever you have industry meets, right? You talk to them which is the course or which is the solution which you required most in the industry, and then you pick it up. So for me at that point of time, it was Google ka pura advertising tool. So I went for that, right? For you, this time would be something else. So you pick up the courses. It could be AI. It could be ChatGPT के link सारे courses. It could be, ML के या deep algorithm या deep learning के. So it all depends where do you see yourself going forward, right? And उसके basis पे आप select करो. या कुशाग्र.
Okay, sir. And thank you for the answer. So, sir, then I can go for unpaid courses also, or I should choose the paid courses in that
पहले
domain?
unpaid करो. पहले अनपेड करो, अनपेड करके आपको समझ में आएगा कि कि कितना आप टाइम डिवोट कर पा रहे हो, राइट, एंड कितना आपने उससे लर्न किया है. देन यू टेक वन बाय वन पेड बाय पेड. In MBA, you should learn how do you invest your money, your time, your effort, and what is the result you are getting, basis which you take a decision. Okay.
Okay, sir. Thank you. That was very helpful.
हेलो.
Hello. Yeah.
या तो सबसे ज्यादा जरूरी क्या है, मतलब लर्निंग ज्यादा जरूरी है या मतलब सर्टिफिकेट्स भी उतने इम्पोर्टेंट है वो कोर्सेज के लिए?
हाँ, दैट्स अ गुड क्वेश्चन, दैट्स अ गुड क्वेश्चन. देखो, लर्निंग सबसे ज्यादा इंपॉर्टेंट है, सबसे ज्यादा इंपॉर्टेंट लर्निंग है. रेज्यूमे में ये पॉइंट्स डालना कि सर्टिफिकेशंस यहाँ से करें, इट्स अ डिबेटेबल टॉपिक. टू सम इन द इंडस्ट्री, प्रोबेबली प्रोफेसर कैन हेल्प यू more in this. To some in the industry, they like it, right? It gives you credibility if you get it from a few. Of course, that's why you're an IMT, right? You are not into tier 3 college because it gives you credibility, right? So that gives you credibility. But it is far more important when you speak that I have learned this course and I've implemented in this project. It gives you further edge. And that gives you differentiation. For example, abhi aap log 223, 224 people on call pe, right? Each one of you, after listening this call or before listening this call, would do certain courses to get a better job. And everybody at the interview will speak, maine fala course kiya hua hai. Now, when a person is in front of you, how would he make a decision? Just think on that lines. If a student says that मैंने ये सर 3 courses करे हैं पिछले 3 months में in the internship के time पे, and मैंने इन courses को यहाँ पे implement किया है, और this is how I have verified my learning or implemented the learnings. Does that simple answer gives you a more a better privilege, or you say I have done this 10 courses through this. So that's a difference. जो भी करो उसको implement करना start करो, right? So that you get a talking point. Is that answer your questions? I don't know who asked.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Would you suggest और भी questions आ रहे हैं? Could you suggest some courses that will help excel in an MBA classroom? जो केस स्टडीज मिलती हैं क्लासरूम में, बिलीव मी, अभी आप लोग गए नहीं हो तो आपको पता नहीं है, इतना ज्यादा होता है दैट यू विल नॉट हैव टाइम टू ब्रीथ. तो वो ही कर लोगे तो काफी चीजें उसी से सॉर्टल हो जाएगी. Any course you suggest before entering college? Nothing. Chill out. ठीक है. What you can do is increase your reading habits. न्यूज़पेपर पढ़ना स्टार्ट कर दो, राइट? नेटवर्क करना स्टार्ट कर दो, लोगों से बात करना स्टार्ट कर दो, राइट? और जिस भी इंडस्ट्री में जाने का मन है उस इंडस्ट्री के बारे में पढ़ना स्टार्ट कर दो, उसकी फिनेंस बुकलेट्स देखना स्टार्ट कर दो. Just that's it. That is enough. And rest professor can help की क्या क्या कर सकते हैं. Which other elective will be best to pair with marketing on your choice? For me, it was finance. For you, it could be anything else. It is extremely on your choice. Could you हो गया ये. Good afternoon. Since you mentioned peers, with any MBA, a lot of competitive activities and placement associated with it. So there's always a chance that we end up going head to head with our closest peer. That's right. How do you suggest that we navigate a situation like that and strike a balance between being competitive and being friendly? Very good question. Very rightful question. Who is this? Shashwat Sarkar. Very good question. This is a true story. I suffered from it. Everybody has a different way of moving this across. It is all about managing, which you will learn. इस पे कुछ भी कोई भी थ्योरी है ही नहीं. अब ये तो ऐसे है यार कि आप अपने घर पे या अपने आसपास लोगों को कैसे मैनेज करते हो, अपने रिलेटिव्स को कैसे मैनेज करते हो, नेबर्स को कैसे मैनेज करते हो. ये तो वैसा क्वेश्चन है. यू लर्न इट बाय द वे यू इंटरेक्ट विद, राइट? एंड दिस इज फॉर द एंटायर लाइफ. तो इस पे सोचना भी नहीं चाहिए. यू डू व्हाट इज गुड फॉर यू एज वेल एज द कम्युनिटी. वो ऑटोमेटिकली चीजें सेटल होती है. इस पे इतना टेंशन नहीं लेने का लाइफ में, राइट? But make a strong business case. For example, I'll tell you a one short story. I don't know कितना time बचा है यार, ये तो खत्म ही नहीं होगा. Sir, how much time I have?
You have anything between 60 to 90 minutes.
Okay.
So you can consume up to 30 more minutes.
Okay. So see, I would always suggest that if you are choosing, peers, etc., for your certain projects, always try to have people who are better in you in some other skill. For example, I was good in certain A aspect. Let me say I was good in I had a discipline and very वैसा वाला approach. So let me say कि rigorous research, right? I was good in researching things. So I would always wanted somebody who is very मतलब जो ideation दे पाए मेरे को, right? Who's very calm and relaxed and chill out, you know, वैसा वाला बंदा who will give me good ideas. So I always keep that guy in my team. Third thing is I always wanted one finance, because मेरे जो भी मेरा solution होगा, solutioning exercise में finance is very important, which gives you a lesson. So I always pick one finance guy in my team, right? So it is all about when you work for a project or a case study, outside, inside, paid, unpaid, right? Or industry assignments, you always pick up a cohort which adds to your skill set, right? And that's how you form a company as well, right? कि मुझे ये बंदा इस चीज के लिए चाहिए, ये बंदा इस चीज के लिए चाहिए, ये बंदा इस चीज के लिए चाहिए, ये बंदा इस चीज के लिए, and then you become the leader and then you manage the entire show, right? So it all depends upon you how you will bring it. So I think that answers your question, Shashwat, right? How to add people with the complementary skills. Okay. Acha. Sir, I am new to this field with WorkX in IT company. What prior knowledge should I have before joining us? Well, very good. You stand in a good chance. IT company say you start learning about IT ke threads. Now through IT, take one field. Which are the whether a B2B segment or a B2C segment. Select कि वहाँ पर IT का role क्या है, and go in little depth and start reading about it. If you want to take a retail segment, then read all kind of retail transformation. Journeys many organizations have. वो सब आपको उनके strategy docs में हर किसी के financial presentations, investor presentations in and around the globe मिल जाएगा, right? So read. This is whose question? This is Vinay's question, right? So whichever IT company, for example TCS में आप किसी एक कंपनी में किसी एक प्रोजेक्ट में आपने काम किया होगा, प्री सेल्स में किया होगा, या प्री सोल्यूशनिंग में किया होगा, या सेल्स में किया होगा, या फाइनेंस में किया होगा, किसी एक जगह आपने कुछ तो रोल प्ले किया होगा, राइट? या बिड्स में बिड मैनेजमेंट किया होगा फॉर अ सेक्टर. So choose that as a sector and see what a role an IT brings into that sector, and what all that sector brings out to the consumer. उस पे स्टडी करो and then just have that knowledge. वो फोकस रख के आओ. How can I apply in some short-term projects in marketing domain? Okay, these are
Called PGDM, banking and financial services. It's a 3-year-old.
Okay, that's nice. That's very nice. So, see, I am still new to this particular part, and my next career move could be in the finance only, because this is the area which is ushering like anything, right? And of late, I am in touch with again some second project which I've taken in my life is digital solutions in the finance segment. मुझे कुछ नहीं आता है उसमें. I've just taken that project with Mahindra Finance, and I am in Mahindra first choice. Probably Kunal Gupta, you can connect me on LinkedIn in a period of 15-20 days. If I get to know something about it, I'll definitely share it with you. But this is something I'm also very interested. The next big revolution which is coming into is in the BFs in finance. So that's a great idea which you have started, by the way. That's something which is very good.
We have an amazing team. The team comprised primarily of professors who have come from industry. The placements have been really good. Market response is amazing, honestly.
Yeah. It is my interest. Myself, I'm interested in this particular, in my sector, in my career growth now. Next phase will be that only, sir. I'll take your inputs again.
Well, wish you all the best for that. I'm sure you'll do well there also.
Thank you, sir. So, can you please throw some light on how is marketing and operation as a major and a minor? A very good question. See, marketing and operations. So, operations, if I tell you, is what? It is more about replenishment. It is more about logistics. It is more about production. It is more about efficiency. These are the 4 pillars, and people management, 4 or 5 pillars of operations. And each of this has a thread to marketing, right? So marketing plus operation is a good combo. Marketing, operations. See, I had some 2-3 courses of operations, and then I had more courses of finance. So you can always make a general management kind of profile also. Major marketing and then minors make kuch courses of operations ke, kuch courses iske, finance ke. It always gives you a good throw. Don't leave HR as well. So whatever courses you have in the HR stream, I think first year में होते हैं या कुछ आगे पीछे आते हैं, वो itself is a bigger boost. Do not leave that part as well. Org structuring, org restructuring, organizational things are very important. Do not leave on that part as well. Whereas marketing and operations, marketing finance operations make a good combo. I want to enter automobile sector. What things should I do as a non-engineer? Udit Rathore, you can again join. This question is little personal. आप में से LinkedIn में बात करना. I'll give you answer on to this. कि what should you do? Hi sir, how do I approach industry leaders? It can be intimidating to go and talk to an expert or an industry leader with no experience myself. So how should I break on? Very good point. मैं कैसे करता था? So मेरे को B2C सेगमेंट, मेरे को पेप्सी में मेरा इंटरेस्ट था, right? I'll show you one story. मैं दिखा देता हूँ आपके इस आंसर के लिए ना. This is the image which you were talking about. So this is my Facebook post, right? 1 साल हो गया था मेरा, and it was कि अब मैं end करने जा रहा हूँ. So for second year के first में I went to sir, right? कि मेरे को ना थोड़ा सा मेरा case study वैसे पूरा हो गया. मुझे B2C segment का बड़ा stress है सर, मेरे को जाना है क्योंकि मेरा अभी current महिंद्रा में भी B2B में ही हुआ है, right? और मेरे को same question था मेरे mind में कि मैं industry leader से कैसे बात करूँ. He said that you start, creating some content and case studies. And there I decided to meet these startup leaders. So I remember I went to these NGOs. Dr. Pachori, who's not now no more, he was a great person. He was chairperson for IPCC at that point of TERI, and he's also a Nobel Peace Prize winner. So there I worked with him on the green peasant model, agri-business पे काम किया था. From seed or we say that seed to fork or fork to plate, something on that strategies, right? And then किसी भी time पे अगर आप किसी leader से मिलना है ना, you can't meet that leader at the first, but you can definitely go and meet the startup guys उस area में, उसी field में, and then directly go and in-mail कर दो LinkedIn में. I used to do in-mails in LinkedIn to that startup के co-founders or founders कि sir, I am this student in this college and this is stream. I am extremely like to probably of your sector and this company. I've read about you and I would want to take some short-term project in this thing. And 80% times I've got the response. So while you cannot reach the established companies, but you can definitely reach the startup companies in those sectors. And from there, सीढ़ी चढ़ते हैं हम लोग ना, एक step. And from there you make a network. Does that answer your questions? किसने पूछा था ये क्वेश्चन? बहुत अच्छा क्वेश्चन था, बहुत अच्छा क्वेश्चन था यार. ये एक्चुअल में ऐसा करोगे तो बहुत हेल्प मिलेगी. बड़े सारे क्वेश्चन आ गए यार, कौन सा है और कहाँ से छोड़ा था मैंने? ओके, ये हो गया, ऑटोमोबाइल वाला हो गया, इंडस्ट्री लीडर्स वाला हो गया. सर, व्हाट डू यू सजेस्ट फॉर इंट्रोवर्ट्स? इंट्रोवर्ट के लिए यार जो रात के 12 से 2 बजे वाला टाइम होता है ना अभिषेक, उसमें सबसे बात ही करो बस. धीरे धीरे अपने आप एक्सट्रोवर्ट आना शुरू हो जाओगे. और पहली बात तो आप इंट्रोवर्ट नहीं हो गए यार. अगर इंट्रोवर्ट होते तो आईएमटी गाजियाबाद के जीडीपी सेशन को पार ना कर पाते, राइट? या और भी अच्छे बी स्कूल्स में जिसमें आपने निकाला होगा उस पर आप पार ना कर पाते. तो डू नॉट पुट अ मिथ. मेरे को अपनी इतनी मिथ थी लाइफ में जो सर ने अभी इस कॉल में इतनी बार दूर करी है, अभी भी होती हैं, जो अपने मेरे पेरेंट्स दूर करते हैं. कोई भी टैग अपने पे प्लीज मत लगाना लाइफ में कि ये नहीं कर पाऊंगा, मैं ऐसा हूं, मैं वैसा हूं, ये मत लगाना. These things only put a pause to your potential. So I don't think, Abhilash, you are an introvert. And if you feel that, you in your presentations, you can talk to professor probably and tell him this point. I will make sure that he will make sure that probably he calls you in every call and asks you to give a presentation, and that's how you can get away from your introvert, whatever feeling you have for you. तो ये कुछ अपने मिथ लगा के मत रखना यार. Since you have an international experience in Germany, what would you recommend to the DCP students who have the chance in studying in Dubai as a part of their IMT curriculum? Very good question. I always wanted to take a DCP plan, but I couldn't because of certain circumstances. When you are in Dubai, right, do as much as STPs as per the law, as per the process over there. Meet as much Dubai has a extremely good India ka base वहां पर, right? LinkedIn में search Dubai, put Dubai and start all the people over there. And this is the best you could do. सबको email करो, emails करके या उनको messages करो, सबसे connect करो और उनको बोलो मेरा ये project है, मेरी ये specialization है, I want to do an STP with you, a short term project with you, any project. I just want to have a learning. develop that cross country. और अगर दुबई जा रहे हो तो this is the best one should always do. When you come back from Dubai, you bring lot of STPs certificates with you. यहाँ इस industry में ये काम किया, so that's how you are able to learn about EMEA as a market, right? So and focus on EMEA, not just the southern part of it. Focus in the complete EMEA if you are in that, if you are in Dubai. बट रास्ता यही है यार, है ना? आपको वहां पर इंडियन कम्युनिटी सर्च करनी है. इंडियन कम्युनिटी के दुबई में बहुत सारे, जब व्हेन आई वाज इन दुबई, आई डोंट नो, सर वाज आल्सो देयर फॉर क्वाइट अ टाइम इफ आई रिमेंबर. यू कैन आस्क सर आल्सो. There are many Indian communities, good professional leaders are there, or else in LinkedIn only you can reach the leaders and say कि मुझे I'm interested in doing this kind of project. मेरा ये specialization है. If you can help me to give some short-term project, I will be more than happy, and that's how you should enter in. देखो यार, आपको सब कुछ ना छीनना पड़ेगा to seize the opportunity. But does that answer you, Rishabh? Okay. Sir, as a fresher, there is always belief that we might be lacking behind peers who are joining after gaining experience from their years in corporate. Acknowledging this, what would you suggest to freshers? This is a vice versa thing. Who's this guy? Trian. So ऐसा कुछ भी नहीं है. FMCG companies etc. they give a lot of privilege to freshers for the reason they bring fresh ideas and they are more realistic in terms, more zealistic. Zeal ज़्यादा होती है उसमें, right? तो ऐसा कुछ भी, अगे मैं बोलूंगा, कुछ भी मिथ नहीं है. ऐसा मिथ मत रखना कि फ्रेशर है तो आता नहीं होगा. तो only good thing is that you are not behind your peers, but you have a different kind of fresh outlook, right? Which your peer had somehow droned. For example, when I used to have this case study competitions, एक बंदा में हमेशा every time used to be fresher, because that he gives me very fresh ideas, right? Which I somehow in the years of experience have somehow lost them. So Trian, please remember, there is no fallacy कि this is a fallacy कि freshers के पास वो नहीं होता. In fact, freshers get the highest packages at times. So ऐसा कुछ भी नहीं है. It's just that you again search for your complementary skill ना, कि मेरे पास ideas हैं अच्छे, I need some experience guy जो मेरे को challenges बता पाए, right? कि अगर मैं ये project कर रहा हूँ या ये इसमें क्या operation में challenge आएंगे, इसमें क्या finance में आएंगे. That's how you should find it out. As you said, marketing with finance is what you like, but AI is an emerging technology. So how would you do if I take marketing with IT? Brilliant. And how do we have choose specialization as per industry demand? Specialization I think second year में आती है. अगर if I'm not wrong, sir can add more to it. मेरे time पे second year पे थी specialization. First year तो I think सबका same रहता है, isn't it, sir? So
a slight modification in term 3 now they have their core electives, so they need to choose a specialization end of second semester, and there are 4 electives for each specialization in term 3 itself.
Okay, nice. Okay, so in that case, this is who? This is Rishabh Chaudhary, right? See, today also I have taken, I was telling you that for business finance, right? In the financial segment, I am taking 2-3 courses right now. How AI or DL can help in the upcoming finance sector, right? So this is how you can merge IT with or the emerging technologies with the core sectors. That's a very good combination. I think many of you should take that. At least one subject you should take on that part. That is something which you should do. I don't know whether it's in term 3 or in the subsequent terms, but you should take that for sure. So it's not about the industry demand, Rishabh. It's more about getting to know what could be replaced with IT. That's more important. Because when you go in an organization and if you talk about 90s के ज़माने की बात या 2000 ज़माने की बात, they see you with a technology letard kind of stuff. So when you know that these things can be done by technology, you bring that aspect. And many times you become the program manager at this age, right? Where you manage the entire project of the company with multiple stakeholder interaction. And that is something which you can always see by learning these IT courses and amalgamating them with your core finance subjects or core sectors. What are the prerequisites for entry into field of consulting with prior experience in field and I'm an engineer? Consulting के लिए, yeah, okay. Consulting के लिए, Rohan, what you should do is, I was also very much interested in consulting. तो consulting की 2-3 चीजें हैं. You go for the top companies, right? So Bain, BCG, Booz, etc. इनकी website पे जाके या you see what kind of projects they are doing. Join them on the LinkedIn and see what kind of projects they are doing. And nowadays, these companies are always putting out certain updates that हमने ये project किया, market इस तरह से चल रही है, and there are many white books, white papers which are available on their website itself, right? Start reading them and then start connecting with them on LinkedIn, right? There are always 2-3 leaders upcoming, and what I'm saying is this is all about networking. And एक तरफ मेहनत करनी है, रीड करना है उस सेक्टर के बारे में, उस कंपनीज के बारे में, एंड एक तरफ आपको नेटवर्क करना है. एंड अगर आप एकदम से टॉप वाले लेवल पे नहीं जा पा रहे हो तो नीचे वाले लेवल को पकड़ो और उनसे कनेक्ट बनाना स्टार्ट करो. दूसरा, वी हैव कंसल्टिंग क्लब इन द कम्युनिटी. यू हैव एलम्स इन द कंसल्टिंग डोमेन. You can connect with me. I'll connect you with few consultants. I'll connect you to Bain Consultants or McKinsey. Both of them work very closely with Mahindras, right? So there you can get some STPs. So this is for all sectors, right? The way you enter and you get connections. But remember always one thing: they're very, very professional guys. You have to learn or probably read where you are entering. ये ध्यान रखना. So since you took many risks in life, be it your decision to leave a job or MBA, choosing finance specializations, or could please share how to deal with fear of failure while trying out new things which act as an entrance. बहुत अच्छा क्वेश्चन है यार, अभी तक डरता हूं मैं. प्रणव भाटिया. So यार देखो, वर्स्ट से वर्स्ट क्या होगा वो हमेशा रखना. वर्स्ट से वर्स्ट क्या होगा? आफ्टर 10 years मेरा प्लान है, राइट, कि मैं कुछ अपना करूंगा. तो अब अगर 10 years के बाद या लेट्स से 7-8 years के बाद अगर मैं लूज कर गया ये चीज, या मैं नहीं सक्सेसफुल हो पाया स्टार्टअप में, अपने स्टार्टअप में, तो what is my risk? My risk is how will I feed my family, or is there is abundance in the family to get accustomed to it, right? So then I'm working in the next 7 years to deposit that kind of wealth for them so that they become self-sustainable, or else I am motivating my better half to be little more how should I more into different parts of the game so that she becomes more independent. She can assist me when I want to take the decision. So it will, at every stage in your life you will have you have to just see कि बुरा से बुरा क्या होगा और उस बुरे से बुरे के लिए मैं कैसे अपने रिस्क को मैं कम करता हूँ. But very good question, Pranav Bhatia. Sir, you have a very good profile of people coming. I don't know, इतने अच्छे questions ये बाकी जगह भी पूछ रहे हैं. It is very, very genuine questions they are asking. Very, very.
I can hear this, Ashish.
Very, very, very happy. So this is like but risk जरूर लेना लाइफ में. मैं एक ही चीज बोलूंगा कि एक रिस्क में अगर आप फेल होते हो तो दूसरे रिस्क लेने की ना हिम्मत टूट जाती है. सो इसलिए इट इज वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट दैट आप जब जो भी रिस्क ले रहे हो लाइफ में उसके जो वर्स्ट इफेक्ट हो सकते हैं उसको कहाँ तक मिनिमाइज कर रहे हो, कि अगर फेल भी होते हो तो वो चीजें सेटल रहे लाइफ में. और दैट आर बिगर फियर्स, क्योंकि वही आपको रोकते हैं आगे डालने के लिए. सो आप 1 साल डिले कर दो, 2 साल डिले कर दो, बट देन यू मेक इट अ बेस फॉर इट, फिर उठाओ, राइट? एंड आई एम टेलिंग यू माई एक्सपीरियंस. मैं पूरी तरह से गलत. देयर आर पीपल हु डू नॉट थिंक एनीथिंग अबाउट इट एंड जस्ट गो एंड स्टिल सक्सेस एंड सब कुछ मिल जाता है साथ में, राइट? बट as a person, I'm telling you about myself, right? And the moment you grow in life, when you have a family, probably जब मैं MBA करा तो मैं इतना ना सोचता उस टाइम पे, मैंने नहीं भी सोचा. But as I'm growing, we have responsibilities, and sir can add to this. We have responsibilities in life जो कि थोड़ा आपको ना खींचती हैं नीचे की तरफ. और वहां पर अगर आपको इंटरेक्ट लगता है कि नहीं यार मैं इसको फोड़ सकता हूँ, मैं वो चीज कर सकता हूँ, so then you take it. बड़ा ही सब्जेक्टिव और फिलोसॉफिकल क्वेश्चन है प्रणव भाटिया. आई थिंक दिस ऑल स्टार्टअप पीपल आर स्ट्रगलिंग टू दिस ओनली व्हेन दे मूव टू अ स्टार्टअप फ्रॉम अ बट वेरी गुड क्वेश्चन. यू कनेक्ट विद मी प्रणव on LinkedIn, we'll talk. My past record has been so good that I'm just curious on how I can do well and get summer internship as well as second semester, so not much medium cards to vouch for me. So apart from my courses and competitions, what other aspects can help me in screening rounds of profiles? Can you share some insight on how B school competitions are, like what are you supposed to do in these competitions, how finance person can excel in this? Whenever you join in the college, check IMT ka page. They have achievements records. Go and talk to professors and meet second year people, right, who currently would have participated in B school competitions. सबके पास में mostly second years के, this was the idea which Harvinder sir gave me in the first year, कि जिसने पार्टिसिपेट किया है सबके पास केस स्टडीज होती हैं उस पर्टिकुलर कंपटीशन की, राइट? गो एंड टेक दैट केस स्टडी एंड उनका सोल्यूशन भी मांग लेना. उनके लिए तो कोई यूज नहीं है, उन्होंने तो पार्टिसिपेट कर दिया है, right? You will come up 15-20 case studies और उनके solutions. Just read those case studies and think तुम क्या solution देते, and then read their presentations of your seniors, right, in the college. That's how you will understand this is the best and most clean source and quick source. मैं सारे आपको वो बातें बता रहा हूँ जो आप easily कर सकते हो बिना इधर-उधर भागे, right? So Ashish Mehta, just take the old competitions, 6 months, 1 year old from your seniors and read their solutions and the case studies. Business competitions की बात कर रहा हूँ. Sir, I want to pursue my MBA, but I'm too weak in understanding case studies. पढ़ी कितनी होगी यार, आकाश? मेरे को तो पता भी नहीं था केस स्टडी के बारे में जब मैं यहाँ पे आया था. कुछ भी ऐसा नहीं है, ये सब हटाओ, कोई टेंशन नहीं है. As you said that deaf freshers don't get treated differently and it's most misleading. Could you shed some light on whether one should focus more on case studies challenges or on courses along with acads to crack a good SIP? Again, I am telling you have to balance case study challenges gives you an external world का perspective, real life problem. बट जो आपका बेस बनता है पढ़ाई का वो आपका इधर से बनता है जो आपकी स्टडीज हो रही है, राइट? कोई बहुत डिफरेंस नहीं होता है. द ओनली डिफरेंस विच विल कम इज व्हेन फॉर द एक्सटर्नल बिजनेस केसेस यू हैव टू मूव आउट, ट्रैवल एंड actually as per that case or business problem you have to move along and search for the interviews and probably get the market knowledge. उससे आप you could be able to probably give us solutioning. Otherwise classroom study, case study में more or less I don't think बहुत ज्यादा फर्क होता है. and हरिंदर sir can add to this. नहीं होता है इतना फर्क. It is only उस particular वो जो क्वेश्चन आता है केस स्टडी का वो थोड़ा सा फोकस हो जाता है, वो मार्केट स्पेसिफिक हो जाता है, जियो स्पेसिफिक हो जाता है, कंस्ट्रेंट स्पेसिफिक हो जाते हैं. उस पे आपको आंसर करना होता है. दैट इज द ओनली डिफरेंस. बट अप्रोच तो वही रहती है जो क्लासरूम में रहती है. आप केस को रीड करते हो, केस को एक नहीं 10 बार रीड करते हो, रीड कर करके. चलो एक मेथड बता दूं 2 मिनट में. मैंने शायद ही कहीं लिखा भी था कि विच इज मोर इम्पोर्टेंट. मैंने बहुत चीजें मेरी रह गई. आई थिंक दिस वाज द थिंग व्हिच आई वांटेड यू एवरीवन शुड रीड. मैं कभी भी किसी भी क्लास में, नरेंद्र सर कैन ऐड टू दिस, मैं कभी भी बिना प्री रीड करे कभी नहीं गया, कभी भी नहीं गया. इनफैक्ट आई यूज्ड टू रीड, क्योंकि इतनी हम लोग केस स्टडी की बात कर रहे हैं, जो खुद की केस स्टडीज मिलती हैं क्लासेस में पहले वो तो पढ़ लें, राइट? तो वो मैं जरूर पढ़ता था. और इन द मॉर्निंग वो मेरा शेड्यूल रहता था कि जब प्लेसमेंट बेसमेंट हो गया, तो मतलब इंटर्नशिप वगैरह लग गई थी, तो उसके बाद में आई यूज्ड टू रीड इन द मॉर्निंग व्हाइल साइकिलिंग दीज केस स्टडीज ओनली, जो इवनिंग में होती, मतलब जो क्लासेस में होती थी, राइट? सो आई यूज्ड टू रीड ऑल द केस स्टडीज सेट and when I used to go in the class, I used to have that some thoughts कि मैं किसके पर क्या point touch करूंगा, क्या बात करूंगा, या कोई आंसर देगा तो उसे कैसे solutioning दूंगा. So do read, I would say, the case study जो क्लास में आती हैं.
Excuse me, sir.
I think time हो ही गया है. हाँ जी.
Sir, just adding on to what you just said. So it's most like a preconceived notion that a case study is very differentiated from what we learn in the acads. Could you say that? I think
बेस तो आपका वही बनेगा. मुझे भी तो कुछ नहीं आता था. बेस तो मेरा क्लास में ही बना ना. इसके बाद हम ऐड करते हैं. यार सिंपल सी बात है. जैसे ग्रेजुएशन में हमने इंजीनियरिंग के कंसेप्ट पढ़ते हैं बुक में, फिर जब हम जाते हैं, और मैंने जब इंजीनियरिंग करी इलेक्ट्रॉनिक्स का और जब मैंने प्लांट संभाला इलेक्ट्रॉनिक्स का, तो मेरा बेस तो वही था ना यार, कॉलेज से पढ़ा हुआ. उसको मैंने एक्सपेरिमेंट जो लैब में करते थे उसको वहां पे जाके सीखा. वहां पे जाके भी टेस्टर लगाना पड़ता है, राइट? तो बेस तो आपका क्लास में बनेगा. और अपनी क्लास में जहाँ पे आप सब लोगों से बात कर रहे हो, अपने प्रोफेसर को भी जानते हो, अपने साथ वाले लोगों को भी जानते हो, उनके सामने अगर बोलना सीख जाओगे, उनके साथ बात करना सीख जाओगे, उस टीम पे काम करना सीख जाओगे, तो फिर वो लर्निंग लेके आप मार्केट में जा पाओगे. Somebody can please mute. Okay. So I think most of the questions, और बाकी किसी क्वेश्चंस अगर रह गए होंगे तो we can definitely touch along. I think sir आंसर तो कर दिए हैं. कुछ किसी का रह गया हो तो they can read the questions.
I think almost all, but maybe एक question दोबारा आ रहा है. Zico says, is it advisable to enter as a blank slate in IMT, or you would suggest to develop some skills? I don't know. Blank slates also have their own advantages, but anyway, your take, Ashish.
हाँ जी. So अगर मैं अपनी पर्सनल बात करूं, so मैंने एक फील्ड चूज करी थी again depend on your interest. I used to read a lot on the technology front. क्या हो रहा है कैसे, बिकॉज सबसे बड़ा जो रिस्क है आज के टाइम पे मैन पावर को इज ऑन द टेक्नोलॉजी, राइट? अगर टेक्नोलॉजी हमको रिप्लेस कर रही है, देन एटलीस्ट वी शुड नो द टेक्नोलॉजी सो दैट वी नो विच आर द एरियाज वी नीड टू स्किल अप या अपस्केल। इतना तो पता होना चाहिए ना। वो हमको रिप्लेस कर देगी ये तो हम नहीं रोक सकते, लेकिन क्या क्या चीजें हम उसमें उसकी एफिशिएंसी इनहैंस कर सकते हैं उसको लर्न करके, ये तो हम कर सकते हैं। सो टेक इज समथिंग विच यू शुड इन एनी सेक्टर, एक सेक्टर पकड़ लो ऑफ योर चॉइस एंड टेक इंटरवेंशंस देख लो उसमें, दैट विल हेल्प यू। दिस विल बी इंटरेस्टिंग ऑल्सो। बाकी सब पढ़ाया जाएगा, फिनेंस पढ़ाया जाएगा, फिनेंशियल बुक्स कैसे रीड करनी वो पढ़ाया जाएगा, केस स्टडी कैसे पढ़नी है वो पढ़ाया जाएगा, हर एक चीज आपको बेस से स्टार्ट कराई जाएगी। लेकिन योर नॉलेज ऑन द सेक्टर्स और अपकमिंग थिंग्स इन द सेक्टर, दैट इज समथिंग विच यू कैन ऑलवेज ऐड इन द क्लास, वो पढ़ो। होप दैट गिव्स यू सोल्यूशन। एक चीज बताता हूँ यार, एट द एंड, आई थिंक टू एंड दिस अप, MBA में कुछ ऐसा करना, राइट, कि इट गिव्स अ पॉजिटिव इम्पैक्ट। बहुत बहुत जरूरी है ये। इट इज अ लाइफ चेंजर थिंग, ठीक है। और IMT, ये जो स्क्रीनशॉट लगा रहा हूँ ना, ये मैं बहुत देखता हूँ, बार बार देखता हूँ कभी कभार, है ना। अप टिल नाउ या बिफोर दैट अपने इंडिया से कोई कॉलेज नहीं था लीव अबाउट ऑल IIMs नेस्ले के लिए, एंड आई गॉट अ जॉब अपॉर्चुनिटी नेस्ले। आई लेफ्ट इट बिकॉज मेरा महिंद्रा में इंटर्नशिप था। बट जब इंडिया के मैप में IMT का नाम देखता था ना उस टाइम पे, तो मेरे को बड़ा अच्छा लगता था। एंड तो डू समथिंग which gives a positive thing to the to the people across। एक चीज और मैं दिखाता हूँ जो मैं कभी कभी ना, सर हरिंदर सर, कभी कभी जब मैं बहुत लाइफ में आई गो डाउन ना कि यार मैंने गलत डिसीजन ले लिया, कैसे ठीक करूंगा लाइफ में, तो मेरी एक फ्रेंड है श्रुति करके, है ना, सर जानते होंगे, शी इज इन मैरिको और बहुत अभी तो
अभी गोदरेज मुंबई में है, करेक्ट।
हाँ राइट। तो उसने ये 2014 में ये वो करा था, फेसबुक में डाला था, एंड यू ऑल कैन रीड दैट। इसको जरूर पढ़ता हूँ मैं। सो दिस गिव्स मी लॉट ऑफ स्ट्रेंथ कि डरना नहीं है लाइफ में ना। और मैं सीरियसली बता रहा हूँ, सर जानते हैं मेरा ना तो कोई फेसबुक अकाउंट था, ना तो मुझे कुछ आता था, मतलब बिल्कुल ब्लैंक। जो क्वेश्चन पूछ मैं ब्लैंक ही था एक तरीके से। और मैं कोई टीयर 1 सिटी से नहीं आया हूँ, मैं कानपुर से आया हूँ, राइट, अभी भी कानपुर में ही हूँ। सो मतलब ऐसा कुछ वो नहीं है, और बहुत कुछ नहीं भी आता था, लेकिन एक चीज थी, डरता नहीं, और आज भी नहीं डरता। दैट्स द बिगर थिंग इन लाइफ जो मुझे लगता है। बाकी फिर तो क्या है यार, बाकी तो कर्म है अपने अपने, क्या ही है। दैट्स इट यार। एंजॉय करो एक्सपीरियंस को। आई थिंक बहुत अच्छी लाइफ है, बहुत ही बढ़िया मिली IMT गाजियाबाद में। आई थिंक समथिंग विच इज फॉर लाइफ। द रिलेशनशिप आर फॉर लाइफ, सर का मेरा, एंड बहुत सारे, नॉट विद द सर, आई थिंक आई एम टच सर में सबके साथ में। आई हैव वेरी वेरी डीप बॉन्ड, वेरी फैमिली वाला बॉन्ड है मेरा सबके साथ में, एंड दिस इज समथिंग विच आई हैव अर्न मोर देन द मनी। वो भी अर्न करिए वैसे, बाय द वे। ठीक है।
Well, Ashish, the feeling is reciprocal, I must say. It's mutual.
So thank you, sir. Thank you so much, team. और जिसके क्वेश्चंस में आंसर नहीं कर पाया हूँ, यू कैन ऑलवेज गेट इन टच। लाइफ में डरना नहीं। कभी भी लाइफ में प्रॉब्लम आए ना, तो मैं तो इनको गुरु मानता हूँ, बहुत बार लिख चुका हूँ, पब्लिकली भी लिख चुका हूँ। और जितने भी प्रोफेसर्स हैं, आई डोंट नो, मोस्ट ऑफ देम चले गए या रिटायर हो गए या चले गए कहीं और दूसरे इंस्टीट्यूट में, बट टीचर्स हेल्प करते हैं यार, टीचर्स हेल्प करते हैं। प्राचीन समय से राजा महाराजा भी गुरुओं के पास जाते थे, मेरे पापा तो सर यही बोलते हैं। प्रधानमंत्री मोदी भी जाते हैं, राइट, आई डोंट नो, इररिस्पेक्टिव ऑफ पॉलिटिकल आइडियोलॉजीज, बट हम भी बच्चे हैं, हमें भी जाना चाहिए अपने गुरुओं के पास, बिकॉज शक्ति तो वहीं से मिलती है।
Well, thank you very much, Ashish. It has been a very amazing session. In fact, I'm reading the comments given by students. They seem to be really happy. I'm sure many of them would like to connect with you, and they will benefit with you professionally as well. And I hope you are always there as a mentor for whosoever wishes to connect with you. Okay.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much for being, it's a Sunday. in Kanpur at your home. I'm sure your family also has the right claim. I'm sure 5 days in a week, Mahindra squeezes you sufficiently. It's so nice of you to have spared time. Thank you very much. And of course, the next step should be a physical visit to campus. So maybe if situations permit, we'll request you to be on campus for another session. Right?
Thank you, sir. Thank you so
Thank you
much.
very much, and thanks, audience. Thanks for being with us till the end. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Recording stopped.
Okay, so we close the session now.